The app I decided to focus on this week for my discussion was called Prodigy. Prodigy is a math game that focuses on grades 1 through 8 and helps students with their math skills and build confidence. I decided to pick this app because math is already a difficult subject for some students, and I want to see what other ways there are to effectively teach math and help kids become more engaged in the classroom. Bloom's level of taxonomy, I listed these in reference to the beginning to the end. I know it starts with creating, but I wanted to put creating last. So remembering, this was recalling information. So sometimes students forget certain steps when it comes to solving a math problem, and I want them to be able to understand how they came up with that answer. So with Prodigy, they are able to use the steps that they learned to create to come up with their answer and look over their work at the same time. Understanding is explaining the main idea. The main idea of them learning the steps for math is how it can benefit them in the future. So once they work through the games, the difficulty increases over time. So I want them to see what steps they can take in order to build their confidence. Applying is how to use information in a different way. So not only will they be using these steps throughout their math career in school, but I also want them to understand how they can use it when it comes to calculating money, or how much change is left over, or how many miles they need to travel to get a certain place. What's the difference between two separate numbers? I want them to understand the importance of math in everyday life. Analyzing is determining different parts of a problem. I want students to understand there are different ways to solve every math equation, and I believe Prodigy provides different examples of the same math equation, but in different ways. So, and I need students to understand how using the same steps repeatedly, they can come up with the same answer. Evaluating is justifying your answer. I need them to understand the difference of trying to find their answer in different ways. They also need to be able to explain to me the steps they took to come up with their answer, so they can understand themselves and why it's important to follow every step in order to attain an answer. And creating is producing a new point of view. So once the students have mastered each subject and lesson in Prodigy, I want them to understand how you can use it going forward, how every step in math is a building step to the next subject that you will learn about. To use Prodigy in my classroom environment, I'll be using it during math class, of course. It can either be used for a whole group or individually. I can start off my math block with students all working on the computer for 20 minutes and then gradually increasing it to station rotation. They can also do station rotation while they're doing their fluency activities. And also I can assign homework. I can provide the class code and check in daily for progress and see if each student is meeting their goals. My overall opinion, I believe Prodigy is easy to use. I love the fact that it's free for teachers and there's not a whole bunch of subscriptions needed. I'm able to differentiate the lessons for students. It's based on the difficulty level. It's student friendly. The game itself, I played and I'm actually very impressed. It has to deal with fairies, and trying to defeat the monster on the other end, and that's something that children are able to connect to at this time. Throughout the grades 1 through 8, students are able to work independently in the classroom and at home. They don't necessarily have to ask me for help, nor their parents. They can go on and log in with the class code and continue on with their work. And I can inform parents and print out progress reports so their students can see, and students and parents can see the progress they are making throughout.